Every story in this article actually happened. These were people who boarded cruise ships, passed security, started their vacation, and then made choices so reckless that they ended up banned for life, arrested, sent to prison, or caught in consequences far bigger than they expected. Some of these stories are ridiculous. Some are dangerous. One is genuinely tragic. Together, they prove how quickly one bad decision at sea can turn a dream trip into a disaster. Number 10. The woman who paid cash and brought fake cards. This first story starts with a cruise deal that should have sounded suspicious from the very beginning. A woman managed to get on board after paying $500 in cash to someone she barely knew. The cruise itself was worth more than $1,200. She did not know the woman properly. She did not have clear paperwork. She could not explain the arrangement in a way that made sense. When officers questioned her, she said she was only supposed to come on board, drink, enjoy the ship, and leave. That answer did not help her. From the outside, it looked obvious that nobody was giving away a cruise that expensive for no reason. The story kept changing. First, she said the woman was named Anne. Then she said she did not really know Anne. Then she said she met Anne through someone else. Every time officers pushed for details, the explanation became weaker. Then they searched her purse. Inside, they found multiple credit cards. Officers started running them one by one. Almost all of them were declined. The only card that actually worked was her own. When they asked why she had cards in other names, she could not explain it. They also found a fake identification card and marijuana. What officers believed was happening was a fraud scheme. Someone would book the cruise and onboard activities with stolen credit card information. Then a recruit would get on the ship, cancel certain purchases, try to redirect refunds, and make more transactions before the cards were blocked. The organizer stays away from the ship. The recruit takes the risk. In this case, that recruit got caught. She was charged with possession of fake identification and banned from cruising for life. Before we continue, subscribe and do not forget to hit the bell. Because if these stories teach you anything, it is that one expensive mistake can follow you for a very long time. Number 9. The passengers who fished from their balcony. This next mistake was not complicated. It was just incredibly easy to prove. A group of passengers on a Carnival cruise were docked in Nassau when they decided to set up fishing lines from their cabin balcony, not from a pier, not from a fishing boat, from the side of a cruise ship. That was already a bad idea. There were other passengers below them, crew members moving around the ship, and a fishing hook dropping from that height could have injured someone. Cruise balconies are not private backyards. What happens there can affect everyone around you. But the passengers made the situation even worse. They filmed themselves doing it and posted the video on TikTok. That meant Carnival did not have to work very hard to figure out what happened. The passengers had already created the evidence, shown where it happened, and shared it publicly online. The investigation practically came with a replay button. Carnival later banned them for life. The strangest part is that this was not some hidden accident or a misunderstanding. They treated the cruise like a personal reality show, posted the proof themselves, and then seemed surprised when the cruise line actually watched it. Number 8. The man who jumped from the ship for views. The next passenger turned a cruise ship into a stunt platform, and it cost him future cruises for life. Nick Nadev was on Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas while the ship was docked in Nassau. Instead of enjoying the port like a normal passenger, he climbed to a high deck, jumped off the ship into the water below, filmed the whole thing, and posted it online. He later said he had not really thought it through and hoped nobody would copy him. That was probably the most accurate part of the entire story. Jumping from a cruise ship is not the same as jumping from a dock. The height is completely different. The impact with the water can be dangerous. The currents around a ship that size are not something you can judge from above. And once someone goes overboard, the ship cannot immediately know if it was a stunt, an accident, or something worse. The emergency response has to begin either way. Crew members have to react. Other passengers are affected. The entire ship can be pulled into one person's bad decision. Nadev survived, but survival does not make the choice smart. Royal Caribbean banned him for life, and the video that was supposed to get attention became proof of exactly why cruise lines take these stunts seriously. Number 7. the woman who climbed outside her balcony railing. This next story is one of those moments where the risk made absolutely no sense. A woman on Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas climbed over her cabin balcony railing and stood on the outside edge so she could take a photo. She was not just leaning over the rail, she was actually on the wrong side of it, above the ocean, with nothing underneath her. Someone saw her and took a picture. Royal Caribbean identified her, removed her from the ship when it docked in Jamaica, and banned both her and her travel companion for life. Some people online thought the punishment was too harsh, but it really was not. Cruise ship railings are there for one very obvious reason. They keep passengers on the ship. The wildest part is that the photo probably would have looked almost exactly the same from inside the balcony. The sea would still be behind her. The view would still be there. She risked her life for a picture she could have taken from a safer spot 2 steps away. A cruise ship balcony is not like a hotel balcony on land. The ship moves. The wind is stronger. The structure is surrounded by open water. If you fall, there is no second chance. One careless pose could have turned into a full emergency. Instead, it turned into a lifetime ban, which was probably the best possible ending to a very bad decision. Number 6. The man who sent a bomb threat because he had to watch the pets. This is where the list starts becoming less funny and a lot more serious. A bomb threat came in for the Carnival Sunrise, and once a threat like that reaches a cruise ship, nobody gets to ignore it. It does not matter if it sounds strange later. In the moment, the ship has to treat it as real. That meant security teams and law enforcement had to respond. More than 1,000 staterooms had to be searched. Passengers had their trip interrupted. Crew members were pulled into emergency procedures, all because of one message. Investigators eventually found out who sent it. His name was Joshua Lowe. His motive was almost unbelievable. His girlfriend's family had gone on the cruise, and he had been left at home to watch the pets. He was angry about it. So instead of dealing with that like a normal person, he sent a bomb threat to a cruise ship full of passengers. That one decision turned a personal frustration into a federal crime. Cruise lines cannot gamble with threats. They cannot assume it is fake just because the reason sounds ridiculous later. Thousands of people are on board and safety has to come first. Lowe was sentenced to 8 months in federal prison. 8 months in prison because he was upset about pet sitting. That might be one of the most expensive overreactions in cruise history. Before we move on, take a second to like the video. It really helps the channel, and it is always appreciated. And honestly, if these stories prove anything, it is that learning from other people's terrible decisions is a lot cheaper than making them yourself. Number 5. The passenger who jumped overboard during a federal inspection. The next passenger did not jump for a video. He jumped because federal officers had just come on board. Jay Gonzalez Diaz was on Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas when the ship docked in San Juan. During disembarkation, officers from Customs and Border Protection came onto the ship for an inspection. That was the moment he decided to go over the side. According to the criminal complaint, he did not want to declare the cash he was carrying. The complaint also connected him to more than $16,000 in casino losses from the voyage, which made the whole situation even harder to explain. The important detail is that the ship was not out in the middle of the ocean. It was docked in port. There were witnesses. Federal officers were already there, and his solution was to climb over the railing and drop into the harbor in broad daylight. People on jet skis brought him back to shore. That is the part that makes the decision so bizarre. He did not escape anything. The officers he was trying to avoid were still there. The cash was still an issue. The casino losses were still on record. And now he had also created a dramatic scene in front of everyone. Instead of making the inspection disappear, he made himself the center of it. One bad decision at the wrong moment turned a routine arrival into a much bigger problem. Number 4. The man who boarded an Alaska cruise under a fake identity. This next case shows why a cruise ship is one of the worst places to travel under a fake name. Federal prosecutors said Enrico Rancilio boarded a Princess cruise in Alaska using counterfeit California identification documents. He allegedly presented himself as a United States citizen during the voyage, but investigators later said the documents were fake. That already made the situation serious. But trying this on an Alaska cruise made it even worse. Alaska cruises often involve closer checks because of the routes, the ports, and the coordination between different agencies. Passenger manifests matter. Identification matters. The name you use when you board is not just written down once and forgotten. On a cruise ship, almost everything follows that identity. Your cabin is linked to it. Your purchases are linked to it. Your port movements, onboard records, and activity around the ship can all become part of the same trail. You are not disappearing into a crowd of passengers. You are creating a record every day under the name you used at check-in. That is what makes the plan so flawed. The fake identity was not just used to get on board. It was used through an entire voyage, building a case step by step. By the time authorities moved forward, prosecutors announced charges including aggravated identity theft, false impersonation, and possession of false documents. Most people bring souvenirs home from a cruise. This one ended with a federal indictment. Number 3. The passengers who brought carfentanil on a Bermuda cruise. This next case was not just reckless. It was dangerous on a completely different level. 4 American passengers were arrested in Bermuda after police found illegal drugs in their possession during a cruise stop. Among the substances discovered was carfentanil. That detail matters. Carfentanil is not just another drug someone casually brings on vacation. It is extremely powerful, far stronger than fentanyl, and it is commonly associated with sedating very large animals. When Bermuda police spoke about the seizure, they said it may have prevented a tragedy. That was not dramatic wording. On a cruise ship, a substance like that is a serious public safety threat. Think about the environment. Thousands of passengers are packed into one vessel. People are drinking, walking through crowded hallways, using elevators, going to shows, eating in restaurants, and sharing enclosed spaces. If something this dangerous ends up circulating on board, the risk does not stay with the person carrying it. It can become everyone's problem very quickly. The passengers may have started their trip in the United States, but once the ship reached Bermuda, they were no longer dealing with American vacation rules. They were dealing with Bermuda police, Bermuda laws, and Bermuda consequences. Some travelers treat cruises like floating loopholes, as if being between countries makes the rules less real. This case showed the opposite. The ship continued without them, and the passengers were left behind facing arrest in another country. Of all the things to pack for a cruise, carfentanil might be one of the worst possible choices. Number 2. The passengers who tried to smuggle 95 kilos of cocaine. This next case was not a small mistake. It was a massive drug smuggling attempt that fell apart the moment the ship reached Australia. The Sea Princess had docked in Sydney when Australian Border Force officers and detector dogs searched passenger cabins. Inside suitcases belonging to 3 Canadian passengers, they found 95 kilograms of cocaine. Not 95 grams, 95 kilograms. That amount changes the entire story. This was not someone hiding something small in a bag and hoping nobody would notice. This was a serious operation that depended on a cruise ship being treated like an easy way to move drugs across borders. But that is not how arrival inspections work. When a cruise ship reaches a major port like Sydney, passengers and luggage can still be searched. Border officers know that ships carry huge amounts of baggage. Detector dogs are trained for exactly that kind of environment. A crowded ship does not make illegal cargo invisible. It just gives officers more bags to check. The plan only worked if the passengers could make it through disembarkation and walk off the ship like ordinary tourists. Instead, officers found the suitcases before that could happen. Imagine carrying that much cocaine through an entire voyage, thinking the hardest part was already over, only to be caught at the final stop. The cruise was supposed to end with passengers stepping into Sydney and starting the next part of their trip. For these 3, it ended with charges, headlines, and one of the most serious cruise smuggling cases on this list. Number 1. One dropped cigarette and a fatal fire. This final story is not funny at all. It is the one that shows why cruise ship safety rules exist. The Star Princess was sailing through the Caribbean between Grand Cayman and Jamaica. It was around 3 in the morning. Most passengers were asleep. The ship was carrying thousands of people, including passengers and crew, when a fire broke out on one of the upper deck balconies. At first, it was one balcony, then it spread. The flames moved across the outside of the ship, reaching nearby cabins and sending smoke through the area. Passengers woke up confused and frightened. Some had to leave their cabins in robes and nightclothes because there was no time to get ready. Crew members sounded the alarm, people grabbed life jackets, and passengers were sent to muster stations. By the time the ship reached Montego Bay later that morning, the damage was impossible to miss. Around 100 exterior cabins were blackened by fire. Parts of the ship were burned and twisted from the heat. What had started as one small source of fire had turned into a major disaster. The worst part was the human cost. A 75-year-old passenger from Georgia named Richard Liffridge collapsed on deck and died. 2 other passengers suffered serious smoke inhalation injuries. Several more needed treatment for minor complications. The cruise was ended, and passengers had to be moved to hotels and rerouted. Investigators later concluded that the fire was probably started by a discarded cigarette end that landed on combustible material on a balcony. That is what makes this case so haunting. It was not a planned crime. It was not a stunt for views. It was not a smuggling operation. It may have been one careless cigarette, dropped or thrown away without enough thought. But on a ship at sea, small mistakes do not always stay small. Balconies sit close together. Wind moves differently on the open water. Fire can spread fast along the outside of a vessel. One careless moment on one balcony ended a cruise, damaged around 100 cabins, injured passengers, and killed a man who had nothing to do with the mistake. So, when cruise lines warn passengers about smoking rules, balcony restrictions, and safety procedures, this is why. Those rules are not there to ruin anyone's vacation. They are there because one tiny act of carelessness can become a tragedy. The strange thing about these stories is how different they are, but they all point to the same lesson. A cruise ship may feel like a floating hotel, but it is not one. It is a crowded, moving environment where every bad decision can become bigger than the person who made it. A fake car does not just become an awkward conversation. It becomes an investigation. A balcony stunt does not just risk one photo. It can trigger an emergency. A threat sent from home does not just ruin one person's day. It disrupts an entire ship. And sometimes the smallest mistake is the most serious one. One cigarette, one careless moment, one rule ignored because someone thought it did not matter. That is the part worth remembering. Cruise rules may seem strict when you are on vacation, but they exist because ships carry thousands of people who all depend on each other making basic, sensible choices. Most passengers leave a cruise with photos, souvenirs, and stories they actually want to tell. The people in this article left with bans, arrests, prison sentences, federal charges, or something far worse. So if there is one takeaway, it is simple. Enjoy the cruise, but do not become the reason everyone else remembers it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe before you leave. Do not forget to hit the bell as well, so you do not miss the next story about bad decisions, cruise disasters, and the moments when a vacation goes completely wrong.